So this is my fully finished dream office space for 2025, the version of this office that I've been building towards pretty much all year long. And I've shown parts of this office before, but today I'm going to be giving you a full tour with every upgrade, every desk setup, all the gear, and how I use this room every single day as a videographer and creator. So whether you're new here or you've watched the build out videos before, this is a complete walkthrough of my dream office, at least for now. So let's first start with the TV wall. For my TV, I'm using the LG 55-inch B2 OLED, and it's where I can watch YouTube or put on a podcast while I'm editing or working. And I've basically switched every single TV in my house to OLED now. This was my first one, and after this one, I was sold. Now, underneath the TV is the Husky 84-inch heavy-duty mobile workbench. It's a massive tool chest, and getting it in here was almost impossible, but it stores all my camera gear, miscellaneous desk items, and gives me room to grow into more gear later. Next to the tool chest, I have a Varipole with the Amaran 200X and the aperture lantern on it. This lets me light up the room without a C-stand taking up any floor space, and in that corner, I also have a lamp from Amazon, as well as on the wall, I mounted one of my skate decks, and on the other side of the wall, I have these 3D printed record mounts to add some design to the wall. Now, let's move on over to the main desk setup. So if you've been watching my channel, you know my desk setup has changed a lot over the years. And in this video, it's going to change a little bit more thanks to the sponsor of this video, FlexiSpot. They sent me over their E7 Plus, which is their 4-leg standing desk, and their C7 Max ergonomic chair to upgrade my desk setup. And right now I've been using the regular FlexiSpot E7, which is a 2-leg standing desk with a 72-inch by 30-inch desktop, and it's great, don't get me wrong. It's still sturdy, but I've always loved the idea of a 4-leg standing desk because it's just a lot more stable and it can hold way more weight. Typical 2-leg desks can handle around 200 to 250 pounds, but the E7 Plus can support up to 540 pounds static and 440 pounds while lifting. So with my old desk at the highest setting, if I bumped it or shook it, you could see a bit of the wobble. But with this 4-leg setup, you can see it's way more sturdy and it can hold everything on my desk, including me, where I'm pushing 190 on a bad day. And it also comes with a keypad that has height presets plus a built-in USB charging so I can plug in accessories or my phone without running cords everywhere. And compared to other 4-leg standing desks on the market, the price point on this one is actually super competitive. It's still an investment, don't get me wrong, but for what you're getting, the build, the stability, the weight capacity, it's pretty solid. But now let's talk about the C7 Max, which is the new chair they sent over for my desk setup. I used to have the original C7, which is a great chair, but the C7 Max has some really nice upgrades. It just feels more premium overall, and because I'm someone who sits at my desk for long periods of time, a good chair is honestly one of the most important investments for your entire setup. The C7 Max has a 3D adjustable headrest, a customizable backrest height with 5 levels of adjustment, and built-in lumbar support. You can adjust the seat depth, and they offer 2 seat options, a cushion seat or a mesh seat. Plus, it has a 5-dimensional armrest so you can dial it in perfectly whether you're typing, editing, or gaming. And my favorite part is the reclining feature. If I've been working too long, I can just lean back, take some pressure off of my neck, and keep on working. FlexiSpot also released their newer model called the C7 Morpher, which has an upgraded lumbar system and upper backrest. And I'll link that below too so you can pick whichever one works best for your setup. And since Black Friday is coming up, FlexiSpot is running a ton of deals, some with up to 80% off site-wide. I'll link everything below, and you can use the codes on screen to save even more on the C7 Max or the E7 Plus. And to make it even better, FlexiSpot offers a 30-day risk-free trial and a 10-year warranty with a direct replacement for damaged parts. So if you want to invest in your comfort, definitely check out the links below and don't miss out on their Black Friday deals. Now that my desk is set up and I have my new chair, here's what I'm currently running on my main desk setup. So I have my custom built PC, which has an RTX 4090, an Intel i9 14900K, and that's sitting on the Asus ProArt motherboard, which gives me plenty of ports for hard drives and accessories. And my monitor is the LG 32-inch OLED, which is amazing for editing and just as good for gaming with its high refresh rate, rich colors, and deep blacks. And just like my TVs, I can't really get away from OLED. And a lot of people ask me about the monitor arm that I've been running on my desk setup for years now, and it's actually from the LG Ergo series, but since it's an LG monitor, they tend to share the same monitor mounts, and I just love the way that monitor arm functions and the way it looks. So for my keyboard and mouse, I'm using the Low Free Flow Lite keyboard and the MX Master 3, the original MX Master Master 3 mouse on a HyperX Pulsefire mouse pad. And I also keep a Stream Deck under my monitor. And for audio, I use the PreSonus Aris 3.5-inch speakers and the Rode Pod mic sitting on the Elgato Wave mic arm, and that's all running into the Scarlett Solo interface. And on the right side of the desk near the E7 Plus controls, I mounted an SD card reader underneath the desk, and it can read full-size and micro SD cards, but it stays out of the way while still being easy to reach, so I can dump footage and access my SD cards whenever I need to. Now behind the desk, I mounted these slat wall panels from Amazon, and then to the right, I have an Amazon shelf and some Etsy artwork behind the desk featuring a few of my favorite albums. And finally, to the left of the desk, I have a filing cabinet that stores some accessories, SD cards, notebooks, and really anything that doesn't have a specific home in my office. Now my office also has a second desk setup, and this is where my Mac setup is, as well as where I record my A-roll for my YouTube videos. This desk has the MacBook Pro M1 Max mounted underneath using a 3D printed mount, and the monitor is the LG 27-inch GP950, which works great for gaming and creating thanks to its higher refresh rate. So for the keyboard, I have the MX Keys S, and then for my mouse, I have the MX Master 3S sitting on a leather mouse pad from Bololo. And for audio, I have the Rode AL1 interface with the Rode Pod mic on the low profile Elgato Wave mic arm. And the chair is my old FlexiSpot C7. Next to the desk, I have a rolling C-stand with the Amaran 200X and an aperture light dome. This is my main key light, and with it being on wheels, I can move it anywhere in the office depending on what I'm filming. To the left, I have the IKEA Bror drawer unit for more camera gear and accessories, and above it, I installed these pegboards that store additional gear and look good on camera. Just like on the other side of the room, I have another Varipole with another Amaran 200X and a softbox, and that allows me to have even soft lighting throughout the office space, so if I need to film B-roll or just film anything in here in general, it gives it a nice even look. Now on the fourth wall, I have a roller backdrop system and a rolling standing desk. This is basically a B-roll filming station where I can do top-down shots or use different colored backdrops, and on either side of the window, I mounted two Amazon sound panels to help with the acoustics. I don't know if they're doing much, but I think they look good. Now, a recent addition to this office space has been the tech closet. I have a full video on how I built it, and you can check it out here, and you can see what all I did to the space. But inside of it has an IKEA shelving system that stores tech boxes and other gear that I don't have room for in my main office setup. And my favorite part though is the dedicated space for my Ugreen NAS and my 3D printer from Bamboo Lab. And I'll probably keep the Bamboo Lab inside of the closet and end up moving the Ugreen NAS to somewhere else in my office space so that the 3D printer doesn't mess up the hard drives over time from the vibration. But for now, I love the way that the space looks, and it keeps all of that out of the way from my main office setup. Now for automation, I use Google Home with the Govee plugs, and that mostly means turning lights on and off or using voice controls through the original Google Home puck sitting on my IKEA shelving system in the office space. And then for other lighting adjustments, I just use the Amaran app on my phone to adjust the brightness and color temperature. So as of now in November 2025, this is my dream home office space. But if you know me, come 2026, there's probably going to be some more changes because I'm always trying to refine and change this as time goes on. And if you've been following this channel for a while, you know that we moved here in June of this year, but then we found out we were having a baby, so content sort of took the back burner and life got really busy. But things are starting to slow down a little bit now, at least until the baby comes. I'm excited to create content here the rest of the year and next year. And I've said this before in my other videos, this is not going to be my forever space. We'll end up moving out of this space hopefully in the next 2 to 3 years once my wife and I build our home on this land. And eventually I'll have a brand new office space, potentially my final office space, at least till my kids grow up and kick me out of it. So there's a lot to come and a lot to change on this channel. So if you're interested in tech content, office setup content, and anything in between, definitely make sure to subscribe to stay tuned for more. All right, that'll do it for this one. I'll see you guys in the next one.